Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Broken Korean. And I might as well talk about it. Everyone else is. As I was working today, pulling network cable through ceilings, got a little notification on my phone that Sony is pulling Concord down. They're canceling the game less than 2 weeks after release and refunding players that purchased it. I was trying to think of a game I could think of that I've even remotely thought of that this has happened to in a long time. And when you think that, was it Rocksteady that did the Suicide Squad Kills the Justice League, lost Warner Brothers 200 million? That's about the amount of money that they used to develop this game, and they're not going to continue try to pushing it. No, they're just like, we're cutting our losses. And I know some people are like, oh well, maybe it's like a tax thing. If they pull it all back, it's already been released. They can't. Here in America, you can't file for a tax break after you've already released it. You can do it prior to release, but not before. There's no way they can make their money back, write it off as a tax write-off here in the States. And I don't know what the laws are like in Japan, but I have a feeling it's probably similar, just so people don't go crazy and abuse tax codes everywhere. So what is going to go on? What's happening? Well, honestly, this is a game that costs $40. Now I can load up my Epic Launcher, Steam, and I can get Fortnite, Overwatch, Apex Legends all for free. And it's this kind of first person player shooter, and I can play these games immediately. As soon as the install's done, I can play it. I haven't spent a dime. So these people paid $40 to play this game, and that was a bad sign to begin with. You're competing with these huge, huge first-person shooters that have been around for a while and still have huge numbers. So yeah, and they could, in theory, pull this back all the way back, do some more work on it, re-release it as free, and do a pay internal purchasing system like Fortnite and Overwatch and other stuff. You buy things within the game to make your money and not make your money on the sale of the game. Now, I have my doubts because the moment they released the initial launch trailer, everyone roasted the trailers because this thing looked like they designed the characters to please every DEI person out there to their heart's content. It was just like, oh, oh. I mean, they just did not look good. I mean, I thought about bringing them up, but yeah, there. We'll just kind of. That's not even good. But even the characters, like these three right here, that that aren't don't look like they belong on a DIE panel, just don't look good. And it's going to be it just was not a good looking game. And so they've sold about 25,000 units. 25,000. That doesn't even get them a fifth. That doesn't even get them 5% of their money back. And that's just net. That's gross. That's not even net. That's not even 5% of the cost of this game. That's a bad sign. So let's look at how many people are playing this game. Okay. Peak 697 players. With players right now, 42. Peak in the last 24 hours, 132. Okay. So what about some other games that have been around for a while? Let's see. What's Fortnite doing? Current players in the last hour, 1.42 million players. Almost 1.5 million players playing Fortnite. Okay, what about Overwatch? They can't be the. How about online players right now? 166,000. Monthly active players, 20 million. Even though Overwatch its numbers dropping, it is still way more successful in Overwatch, and it's an older game. Now let's go to the opposite game. How about a game I'm playing right now that's been released for about a week? A week. It released a week ago for early release 6 days ago. It was open for early access 6 days ago. Visions of Mana. Let's check it out. Currently playing 2,708. I want to make that 2,709 here in a few minutes. Because as I'm done with this video, I'm picking that game back up and I'm finally getting back into it. 4,500 people in the last 24 hours. Peak at 7,000. This is a one-person game. These are numbers for a game that's been out 6 days. Okay, well let's go completely in another direction and look at some other numbers to compare. And that's what's an indie game, not by a major studio, an independent game put together by a group of developers without a major studio, and it was released the day before Concord. The day before. So it's only had one extra day of playtime and sell time. Let's look at Tactical Breach Wizards. Currently playing 1,464. Peak is 4,761. This is an indie game put out by a studio of, I think, about 5 developers that they've developed for 6 years at a very small fraction of the cost. They are making a lot more money than Sony is on Concord after they dumped $200 million into it in 8 years of development. And what do you get? You get a bad-looking game that can't even compete with games that have been around for decades. It's nothing new. It's nothing special. It looks like the DEI Mafia took over and did all the character designs and redid everything, and Sweet Baby Inc. got their hands on it and said, we got to do it this way. We got to make this storyline. And you can't even get into an online match with regularity. During this past 2 weeks, it would actually time out and kick you back out because the time it took to try to find a match, it would time out and make you restart looking for a match again. That's how bad this game is. And there's a lot of factors in it, but I guarantee you, gamers, when they see that, messaging, bad story, terrible graphics, bad character design, horrible, clunky mechanics, no thank you. Guess what? We voted with our wallet by not buying the game. Now, granted, I wasn't going to buy I'm not buying a first-person shooter to begin with because I'm not that great at them. But I do pick up Fortnite from time to time. And you know why? Because I have friends that play it, and it costs me nothing. I launched my Epic launcher on my computer. I'm in the game within 60 seconds, and we're in a match in under 2 minutes. So yeah, heck yeah, that's fun. What we got with Concord, 42 active players. And here's what I think those 42 active players are doing. They're trying to play this as much as they can, get through as much of the game as they can before it's pulled. And these aren't like diehard fans. These are probably OCD gamers like myself. Like, got to 100% complete the game. And they're going to try to do their best before it gets shut down completely on Friday. Sales have completely been ceased as of now. You can't buy the game if you want it. You can't get into the game if you just want to. This isn't a marketing ploy. This is Concord is dead. Concord is dead. And honestly, I could care less. Hey, if it did great, fine, more power to them. But if you're going to compete with the big boys, like Overwatch, Apex Legends, Fortnite, you got to come proper, and you've got to have the graphics, the mechanics, the story, the good games, the good developers, and you got to give something they haven't seen. Because you can kick off on all those games for free, and you want us gamers to pay $40 for the privilege to play something we can literally play for free at 10 times the quality that we got? No. No. I hope they finally start to learn that gamers do vote with their wallets. And if you want to push your message, fine. But don't get mad when we don't buy it. So, this is just, of course it is. This is probably the worst gaming disaster I can think of in recent history that just launched, pulled, and shuttered in 2 weeks. Within 2 weeks, that's fast. That's bad. And I saw a couple people think that, they might pull it back for free play. And like I mentioned before, I just don't think they're going to do it. To do the free play, you're going to have to improve the graphics. You're going to have to improve the quality. You're going to have to redesign the stinking characters. Because if we see those characters again, half those characters with pronouns, a robot with pronouns. No. Gamers don't want that garbage. We want a game. We don't want to be bludgeoned to death by your ideology. We want a good game. So, yes, absolutely, this failed. It's no surprise. I could list all the reasons it could have failed, both because of messaging and because of pure game development. It's a terrible, terrible game. And I'm okay with it dying. And salut, you DIE disaster. Good riddance. But, as always, my friends, I thank you for tuning in. Please like, subscribe, and as always, I love you all, and there's nothing you can do about it.